We're live. I'm gonna make this a quick live. Um, this was just coming from MSG, watching the Knicks lose 109 to 108 to the Hawks. So off top, one, it destroys my prediction that I have of 3-1. And where do I start? All right, let me start right here. After tonight's game and watching the game with all the Knicks fans there, and the Garden was going berserk when the Knicks made their comeback in that fourth quarter. It was a thing of beauty. You only wish they could have closed the deal, but the Knicks should have never been in that position to begin with. The coach, Mike Brown, this is the second game in a row that he's blown for the Knicks. I am at the point, I don't think this guy knows how to coach star centers. I don't. I really, really don't, man. I just think he just doesn't know at this point. I mean, if I'm being honest. And it cost the Knicks the game. The Knicks, again, what I said in the last video that I made, and then the video prior to that. The two videos linked to this series, my last live, and then the short that I made, which was the preview for this series. I was very specific with what I said. The Knicks, in order to win this series, had to utilize their pick and roll. They had to utilize that pick and roll against the against the Hawks. It was a pretty easy game plan. And when they ran the pick and roll, it had to be it had to be a mixture. It could not just be solely exclusively from behind the arc. For some unknown reason, the Knicks, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with them. If they're incapable of knowing how to run a pick and roll at the foul line or at the top of the key versus deep behind the arc. I don't know if they're incapable of doing it or if they just don't know how. I've seen them do it through the season. I've seen them do it at different points in games, especially these last couple of games before the season ended. So I was kind of lulled to sleep with a sense of confidence that, all right, they're getting it now. Brown is getting it. Mike Brown is getting it now. But Mike Brown, not only did he not run a consistent, solid, effective pick and roll in the paint area and around the foul line at top of the key, not only did he not do that, he again refused to give Karl Anthony Towns the ball, refused to draw up specific plays for Karl Anthony Towns to get touches. I watched Karl Anthony Towns go for various minutes throughout this game without even touching the basketball. A lot of Karl Anthony Towns' touches came from him getting putbacks with the basketball. Him grabbing rebounds, offensive rebounds, putting the ball back, saving shots that were bricking. I don't. I mean, and I'm tired of hearing people like I remember there was a brother that was there. There was a lot of good Knick fans there. Brother there, he was like, "Oh, come on, Cat, you gotta demand the ball." Nah, man, that's not on Cat. You guys gotta stop with that now, man. You got to. At some point, the coach that was brought in to make the offense simpler and more free flowing and points easier has got to show and prove. He's got to show the goods what he was brought in here to do. And he just didn't do it, man. I mean, this guy went away from. I was inexplicable, man. And it's crazy. I was yelling at the top of my lungs at the Garden, like, get the big man the ball. Get him the ball. Once they started doing that, they started making their comeback. Then it created open three pointers with space for Deuce, who started to come up clutch and hit threes. Then it allowed the captain to get into his bag and hit his shots where he was able to see. You can run isolation plays for Brunson, but it has got to be a mixture of the pick and roll. You have to establish Cat as a threat. That's what's going to create the spacing for Brunson to do these things, man. That's what's going to keep the Atlanta Hawks on their heels. Because I'm going to be honest with you, man. I can't say it any plainer. They have no answer for Karl Anthony Towns, the Atlanta Hawks. None. 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 If Brown was to run that offense 60-40 or 70-30 pick and roll Karl Anthony Towns around the foul line, top of the key, where he's not rolling to the basket from beyond the 3-point line, it makes absolutely no sense. The Knicks would have won this game by 10. They would have won the last game probably by 17 points. They were up 12. So, I mean, this one is on Brown. He's cost him back-to-back games, and I am at the point now, I don't know if we can win with Mike Brown. Mike Brown also brought out the same bench lineup, the same exact bench lineup that failed in the first game. And this is to the point, every podcast that I saw, every media outlet I saw, railed against Mike Brown for doing that. It was even brought up to him in the press conference after game two. Why did you put that lineup out there with Alvarado, Deuce, Bridges, OG, Robinson? Or there are no point guards. There's nobody that can handle the ball. There's no one to run an offense there, to get guys in spots, to get their shots, man. Like Mikal Bridges is not a playmaker. He's not. Neither is OG. You got to set them up to get shots, man. And he's just hard-headed. Refused to, like, he absolutely refused to not break that lineup up, that bench lineup. Stagger his players. Get Cat in there with that lineup, and maybe Brunson in there with that lineup. And how about this? I was hearing, and shouts out to Knicks Recap. Again, brother, hope your son is feeling well, and you're doing well, my brother. But he made a great point where he brought up the point that from what he was reading, Tyler Kolek was supposed to get some run, and that Mike Brown was coming around to getting Tyler Kolek touches. There was absolutely no Tyler Kolek in this game. Tyler Kolek, aside from Brunson, and Brunson is starting to really push it now as far as being looked at as a point guard, man. He's really trying my patience with that. Tyler Kolek is probably the purest point guard on this roster. Just cerebral point guard that knows how to pass, get guys in their positions, can get assists, can hit an outside shot, has good IQ as a point guard. And I know he doesn't play defense, but at this point, we need somebody that can handle an offense on that second unit to get guys in position. We're wasting Mitch. Mitch is a walking lob. But we're not seeing any of that, man. We're wasting. Listen, Mikal Bridges has been absolutely putrid. Tonight was one of the worst games of the season for Mikal Bridges. But honestly, we need a point guard to get Bridges in his spots, to get him on those little curl wraparounds, man. That can get him the ball in space at the right time. We need the same for OG. OG took over it and just was phenomenal. But a lot of OG shots were tough shots. Brown played the same lineup, and the Hawks ate it alive again. They didn't score. It was stagnant. It was horrible. That's on Brown. All right? And last but not least, C.J. McCollum again killed the Knicks. He again went around Brunson. In key moments, he went right around Brunson. JB has to look himself in the mirror and work extremely hard in the offseason, man. He has to take accountability now, man, because now it's just getting to be ridiculous. And I don't want to hear people, CJ, he was this, he's that. He's always been great. He has a bag. Yeah, listen, McCollum, very good NBA player, man. Was a former perennial All-Star. He's in his 30s, man. Brunson's in his 20s. You have an older player going right by you, man. I mean, come on now. And then when it's your turn, I don't see you blowing by these guys like that, man. I see you taking the most difficult shots. I see these guys just blowing by you in little step back space and they're shooting, man. So, I mean, heartbreaking loss, gut wrenching loss. And, listen, all bets are off now. Mike Brown has cost the Knicks 2 games back to back. And I don't know if you can win with him. To be honest, Mike Brown, my first choice was a coach that knows how to coach centers, which was Mike Malone with Denver. If you look back at my videos, me and my son, that was the coach we wanted after they fired Tibbs. I wanted somebody that has won a championship, and two that knows how to coach star centers with Nikola Jokic. Karl Anthony Towns is a number 3 center in the league behind Jokic and behind Wemby. You can flip those guys intermittently. But Karl Anthony Towns is right behind him, man, as the best center in the league. He's being wasted on this team, man. Wasted. So, I mean, at this point, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. I mean, listen, man. I love my Knicks, love them to death, but one, I don't think we win with Carl. I don't think we win with Mike Brown. I just don't. Unless he has an epiphany and changes. I see him running the same bench lineup that is horrible with no playmaker, no point guard, nobody to get guys in their right spots. I see him continually icing out Cat, running the same stupid pick and roll from deep behind the 3-point line where, yeah, Cat can roll and shoot the three, but when they close out on that and he has to roll to the basket, you're asking this guy to roll to a 7-footer to roll to the basket from deep beyond the 3-point line. That's where the turnovers come into play. And then Cat gets blamed for that, but it's not really his fault. That's coaching. That's the point guard, and then that's the coach, really, that's drawing the plays up. That pick and roll you should mix that up, and it should primarily be in the paint area. So he has an easier time rolling to the basket. And then when he pops out, let him hit the mid-range jumper, and then you mix in that deep beyond the 3-point line pick and roll. I mean, I don't get it, man. But horrible loss, heartbreaking loss. Listen, the Hawks right now in the driver's seat, man. I don't know if the Knicks. I still think they have a shot to win it, but the way with this coach, he's a wild card, man. I don't know if he'll adjust. He's shown that he doesn't know how to make adjustments. I mean, period, man. Period. The Knicks came back off of heart and guts. Period. The buckets that Cat scored in that quarter where he brought them back was hustle points, man. It wasn't plays drawn up for him. It was hustle points, man. So, wretched loss for the Knicks. And listen, they deserve it. Listen, and Mikal Bridges. Leon Rose is going to have to answer for that move, man. That move now is looking bad, man. You gave up all of those picks for Mikal Bridges, man. All those first-round picks, man, that was supposed to be pocketed for Giannis in the future or any big player that was going to be available. You gave it up for a player that this is the second year in a row. He's had flashes where he was a game saver against the Celtics last year, but other than that, man, Mikal Bridges has had some spotty performances in the playoffs, man. He's been good, but regular season he's been horrible. I'm talking about good last year. And this year, this playoff series, he's been wretched, man. And this game was just 0 for 3. How do you as a player, star player, a guy that once averaged around 24 points a game with the Nets, how do you go 0 for 3? How is that possible, man? The Knicks brought you here to be a defender. How is it you're not able to stay in front of Kuminga? That last game, game 2, that wasn't just Jalen getting blown by. That was this guy. Kaminga was blown by Bridges. He wasn't even like using his power to like bump him in or run and bump. He was just blowing by him, crossing him and going by him, man. And then the Knicks would have to struggle, rotate over, but it was too late. So it's a lot of Knicks that got to look themselves in the mirror with this game. I think. Listen, Brunson he had good, he had bad, but I give him a pass when the Knicks needed him. He was there. He played well. He has to start passing the ball more though. He has to get his guys established early. But we always say that. I mean, he has to do it now. Now it's now or never. But the clutch shots were important. OG's clutch shots were important. And again, Cat. Karl Anthony Towns got a 20 and 10 game by virtually not having any plays called for him. Just sporadically having pick and rolls, man. That's how much he's dominating this Hawks team, but this coaching staff and this point guard seem to have no clue on how to get him involved in the game. I mean, we're gonna lose, man. If they don't recognize the mismatch they have with Cat and don't take advantage of it, like the old Knicks did with Patrick Ewing. We didn't try to get cute with Pat. Man, he had a center of that caliber, a top three center in the league. We didn't mess around. We got the big man of ball, and we played inside out. Now I know we got Brunson, but you got to mix it up, man. When you have that much of an advantage over another team, you got to use it, man. So I mean, I'm not gonna talk anymore about it. It busted my bracket on my prediction. I predicted 3-1. Now, I mean, I'm honest. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if Brown is going to. I don't know if he's gonna adjust, man. I don't. You know. What's up, Mister Kenda Green? I see you there. KO Pool Haulers, I see you. G Unit, I see you there and there. Thank you guys for joining. Thank everybody out there that's watching the live. Watching this heartbroken Knicks fan, but it's all good, man. It's all good. Listen, NBA playoffs has been crazy so far, man. But I tell you what, the champions are playing like champions. OKC. So, I mean, just off rip, it looks like they're on their way to a repeat, man. But we'll see. Stranger things have happened. All right, let's go to my New York Giants in this NFL draft that's recently that we had tonight. I'm gonna do a podcast with my boy Sally Sal. Sal, he's a very good guy when it comes to the NBA draft, kind of calculating it, the picks, mock drafts. We both were kind of going back and forth with who we wanted and scenarios. So, and of course, it's the NFL draft. So it always a lot of times some things are online, and then a lot of times it just kind of destroys whatever you thought you predicted that team would do. So again, Giants had the 5th and the 10th pick to start for the Giants, and let me just get my stuff up. Give me 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen. And boom, 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 boom. Right. So for the Giants, at the 5th pick, they picked up, and I just want to give me 1 second here. Avril Reese. Now, I mean, I'll be honest with you. With this pick, I wanted Sonny Styles just because to have that size at linebacker, 6'4", no, not 6'5", and to kind of have that kind of a cyborg body, and I thought he would be a great addition to the Giants team. I thought he had a good shot. I thought he would I thought he would fit in and and kind of just really change the mix up a lot. But listen, Avril Reese, if you're looking at just how he was rated, I mean, Sonny Styles was like, the number 7 overall ranking and number 2 at his position at linebacker, Avril Reese, he was ranked number one at his position and one overall, for at linebacker. And a lot of people looked at him as probably one of the best players in the draft. So, it's one of those things, we'll kind of have to see. We'll kind of have to see how it'll go. Again, remember, Giants traded Dexter Lawrence for that 10th pick. So, and we'll get to the 10th pick. So, trading a player like Lawrence, you gotta fill that gap. It's a tough gap to fill, man. You're talking about a three-time Pro Bowler and a guy that was consistently double teamed and gave offenses fits. A lot of people say he dogged it last year. I think he was hurt, but the Giants unfortunately have a tradition of letting a lot of their homegrown guys go, which I hate. I'm a proponent of keep your homegrown guys, man. When you let them go to other teams, a lot of times they beast out, and it's all and sometimes you never recover from that, man. I think it when they did it with Jeremy Shockey, when they let Shockey kind of go because he was kind of a disruption, it worked. Backfired on them with Odell Beckham. When Odell Beckham left, they thought they Giants thought it'd be addition by subtraction, but they didn't make the playoffs for years, man. Years. He couldn't replace Odell. Saquon Barkley, losing him. That destroyed us, man. We haven't been back since. We haven't been in the playoffs since, man. So biggest thing with the Giants, I would like to see them change in the future is to keep your homegrown guys, especially your homegrown star guys. And that was Dexter Lawrence, but he's gone. We got the 10th pick. We stay on the 5th pick. Avril Reese, I think, is a solid pick. Linebacker, we'll see what he's able to do as a player. If he's not the greatest player in the draft, he doesn't have like the eye-popping physicals, but again, all these guys are young. They're draft picks. So we have a great coach in a Harbaugh. We'll see if he's able to kind of mold, cultivate this guy and the defense. And we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes. Draft picks are very iffy, man. A lot of people will tell you, oh, he's going to do this, this, and that. They don't even know, man. So, and we'll get in more to that, when I do the podcast in a couple of days. We'll do that. We're able to kind of sit back, kind of go over all of the picks and let it marinate and then give you a little bit more analysis on it. But off top, I like the pick. I give it a B plus for me. The 10th pick, and this is crazy, because this was one of the things I was thinking about was the Giants' offensive line. At the fifth pick, I wanted Jeremiah Love. I at first I thought they had enough. I thought if Scatterbo comes back, they have enough at running back, but I don't know if I think the Giants don't know if Scatterbo is going to come back completely healthy and how long it's going to actually take him if he's going to be the back he was prior. So I think that the Jeremiah Love pick was something I wanted a lot, especially with their run with the line. But the Giants, kind of I think with them they kind of realized, what? We can, the line was their strength. And they ended up fortifying it even more with the 10th pick. They picked up Francis Magoa from Miami. One of the best offensive linemen in the draft. I thought it was a very good pick. It was a very good pick. Now, who I wanted initially at that particular area at that particular pick at 10 was who the Cowboys picked next, which is Caleb Downs. Downs in a lot of these drafts he was regarded as one of the best defensive players in the entire draft. Even some people even rated him ahead of Reese. So I thought the Giants would go with that, and then try to fill out offensive line later on down the line with some of their other picks, because they already had a strong line to begin with. So this pick to me is it's a solid pick, but it's a little head scratching. It's like, if you get a game changing defensive player, especially safety, you're able to shore up guys on that line at point of attack to rush the passer, and then you're able to help strengthen the secondary. You want to go about it that way, especially losing a player like Derek Dexter Alexander. So, little head scratching pick for me, but what are we gonna do? We're just fans. We don't. It'd be nice if we could speak to these GMs and tell them what we think, but they make the choices, and as fans, we end up living with it. So we'll see. I mean, he's a solid. He's a solid offensive lineman. He should be good, and hopefully he'll be able to create, protect the quarterback, create good run, do good run blocking, and you know, and he should be able to keep the quarterback safe, which is what we need from Jackson Dart. We need him healthy this year. He's the key to this whole success of the season. All right, so again, guys, I'm gonna sign off here on this live. Thank you guys for just listening to this very heartbroken Knicks fan and Giant fan who's a little bit puzzled. Again, for the Jets picked up Bailey, which was a no-brainer, man. I mean that's just David Bailey's just excellent pick. By many, he was rated to be the best defensive player in the entire draft. So I mean that's a no-brainer. Ready to plug and play. Excellent pick. Nothing, no complaints about that. Whatever. Unanimous pick going at number 2. So great pickup for the Jets. Hopefully they'll be able to rebound with that and start to rebuild that defense that was kind of shredded with a lot of their mid-season trades that they did with Sauce Gardner and a lot of their other players. So again, we'll talk later. Thank you guys for joining me. Knick fans out there, yeesh, keep the faith. But with this coach, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. And Giants and Jet fans, hope you guys enjoyed your draft. I mean, it was a good draft. It was a solid draft, man. Again, solid draft, good draft. I mean, again, not a lot of surprises to me other than Carnell Tate going to Tennessee. I didn't think they would draft him at 4, but they have that young star quarterback, so they want to get him playmakers. And again, Sonny Styles going to the Washington Commanders. He's gonna terrorize us and the league for years to come. All right, so again, have a good night, guys. We'll talk more. And next time, when we also do the show, we'll talk about the Yankees who have been doing pretty good, man. Rebounding. Mets got to win. Yankees playing great against the Red Sox. That's always good. Mets finally broke that losing streak, that 12-game losing streak, and kind of getting on a roll now. And, pretty good. Before I go, I didn't know Magnani was a curse to you Met fans. I didn't know that. I just found this out, what was it, earlier today, man. I was bugging out. I asked one of my boys. He said, yeah, man, Magnani, his wife works for the owner, and that led to this curse. Met fans, stop it, man. All right, it's no curse. It's just coaching, baseball, and just locking in, man, and health. Your best player wasn't there, Juan Soto. You're talking about a top 5 player in the game of baseball. When those players are not in your lineup, you tend to lose. All right, so. Just chalk it up to health. Hopefully you guys get healthy, you get better, and you start to put some wins together like you're doing now. And for my Yanks, let's keep it going. Let's keep the pitching going. Jazz Chisholm, wake up. Wake up, bro. Wake up. Wake up. Tell you like Teddy Pendergrass. Wake up. You got to wake up, my guy, all right? We need you, man, all right? Yanks, hopefully that lineup wakes up and we start to complement this pitching staff, which, when we get Cole and Rodon back, oh my God, the Yankees are going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem, man. So, a lot of exciting things ahead for New York sports. I want you guys to pick your head up. And again, Knick fans, it's 2-1. We'll see what happens in the next game. Next game is do or die. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys that. They got to tie it up. So, we'll see. All right, so have a good night, guys. Talk to you soon. Elo from Fan Pros signing out.